Hey, so we're going to read about earthworm soup. This says China and elsewhere. And this little thing is up here. It says, a one-way ticket to Australia, please. Alright, it's a little bird, I think, with a suitcase. In China, earthworm soup is a traditional fever medicine. But the Chinese aren't alone in their use of this high-protein, low-fat food. The French, Aztecs, and Vietnamese have all eaten worms at different times in history. The worm has even played a royal role. Long ago, in a New Zealand tribe called Maori, and remember we read about the Maori. We read about the Maori and throw your tooth on the roof, and they had a custom for throwing the tooth on the roof. Okay, no one was allowed to eat certain earthworms, but the chief, except as a last meal. So if they were going to die or croak. Today, worm eaters in Australia enjoy long white worms dug from rotten logs and eaten raw. And this is a poem called Anticipation, and it's by an earthworm. And it says, and now a poem that wriggles with anticipation, because you know earthworms wriggle. Wriggle is the movement of the earthworm, the way it moves. Wriggle, that's kind of a neat word, isn't it? That would be an example of finding new words and trying to use it. Okay, wriggle. Oh, mouthfuls of squirmy, squiggly, mucky, loop-the-loops. A royal feast if you waited your whole life to taste slimy, grimy, greasy, lapping pails of tails. And then the bird says, I'll start with something from the garden. And then the other bird is serving him, he says, will that be soup or salad? Alright, and then we have over here a sidewinder salad from the American West. It's not easy making mincemeat of a rattlesnake. The snake's many tiny ribs make the meat hard to extract or take out. And a 6-pound snake might have only a pound or so of meat on its body. One restaurant buys skinned whole snakes, minus the head and the rattles, from a snake farm in Texas. Chefs cook the snake, skeleton and all. Next, they hand peel the meat from the bones. Then they add spices and arrange the meat on a bed of mixed greens, crafting the snake into a delightful eating experience. Has anybody had a rattlesnake salad before? I haven't either. And we have a poem. I should have asked for tuna casserole, is the name of this poem. Fast lashing teeth and tattletale tail. Deadly at one end, delicious on down. Dear rattlesnake, my dangerous dinner, don't do to me what I do to you. And the guy over here has a little fork, and he says, good snakey. Because this rattlesnake is still living. And rattlesnakes, you wouldn't want to get bitten by one of them. Okay, snake bites. So snake bites means little facts about snakes. We've got 3 snake facts here. Poison from animal bites and stings is called venom. In rattlesnakes, venom is found only in the sacs connected to the fangs, not in the meat. Okay, and the fangs are these teeth here that you see in the front of the snake. That's where the venom is. So if you were to get bit, that's where the poison would be. But they're saying it's not poisonous to eat the snake, actually. In China and France, people often called snakes hedge eels or brushwood eels. Apparently, the thought of eating snakes was too much for some people. But eels, they were yummy. Okay, and eels are like snakes that you find in the water. Okay, some of you may have seen pictures of them before, but they look kind of like snakes. And then finally, rattlesnake is lower in fat than most of the meats you already enjoy. It's a tender white meat with a mild flavor and texture like that of crab. What's so scary about that? Alright, so I want you to turn and talk to your friends about what this book is making you think of, what questions maybe you still have about foods around the world.